So let's start by looking at some simpler commands. Contracts and project statistics. If you click here, if you click this, you have 3 different menus, sub-menus. First, number of contracts by year, number of projects by year, and total bid amount. Clicking each of those will display data on the left and chart on the right. So the first menu basically displayed different years and number of contracts in each of those years. And you can easily visually see this data in a chart on the right screen. As you can see, the number of projects has decreased over years. The second menu, number of projects by year, is similar to the contract, except that single contract can have multiple projects. Again, the number of projects has somewhat decreased over time. Third menu, total bid amount by year. If you click this, it will show the total bid amount in different years. And it has been fluctuating over the years. So this basically shows contract and project statistics over year in a simple table and also simple chart. Item basket analysis allows you to analyze various items over time. First menu, item frequency analysis, overall and by year. Item frequency analysis overall gives you various items and displays corresponding number of times that item has been used in all the years. And this is sorted by item frequency in descending order by default. So if you scroll down to the bottom, there are many items actually that has been used only once. Whereas if you look at the top, there's one item called miscellaneous work that has been used 655 times in all the projects in all the database. As you can see, first 2 items are lump sum and units is also a lump sum item. Whereas after that, we have striping white epoxy, striping yellow epoxy, and striping white paint, striping yellow paint. Those are the most common items in all the construction projects. In terms of asphalt, one of the larger component in terms of cost, emulsified asphalt, CRS2P, is also one of the most frequently used items. On the right, you can see some of the items have very high frequency, whereas the frequency decreases rapidly for many items, and lots of items are used only once or only few times. You can do similar analysis, frequent items by year, but this time the information will be given according to each and every year. But if you scroll down, in 2015, some of the items were used 34 times, and this does not have complete data for 2015. So let's look at 2014. So if you look at 2014, miscellaneous work has been used 113 times. The emulsified asphalt has been used in 67 projects. Item price analysis shows the price variation item price Item price overall gives you the total amount each of those items are purchased or used in bits. For example, plant mixed surface grading, yes, 3/4 of an inch has been purchased for about $177 million. That is the largest component of all. The second largest component is mobilization, followed by asphalt cement PG 6428, and then emulsified asphalt. So you can see which items are more important in terms of costs, which items should be paid more attention when it comes to their price fluctuation over time. Again, total item price by year provides you the similar option, except that in this case, again, everything is sorted by years. So 2014, the largest component is mobilization, which is about $29 million. The second largest component is plant mix surface grading again, which is $29 million. Item price fluctuation gives you an overview of each and every item and how its price fluctuates over time. As you can see, each of those items are given with average unit price and also standard deviation. Standard deviation of 0 means there was no fluctuation in price. If the standard deviation is higher, that means the unit price of that particular item fluctuated significantly, fluctuated a lot. Again, if you sort the items by standard deviation, you have the structural steel girder, which has very highly fluctuating cost. Then mobilization, another item. Smaller construction projects as well as large construction projects will have mobilization, which is about 10% of the total cost. Similarly, clearing and grubbing is another item that has very high standard deviation. Item specific information category allows you to display more detailed information about a particular item. For example, we have clearing and grubbing. If I double click here, the unit price or the information in this box, each of these cell will be copied to the item code here. You can click the show item info to display very basic information about this particular item. So it is a clearing and grubbing measured in lump sum unit, and basically description says grading drainage, and it's a clearing category. Instead of clicking show item info here, I can copy another item here, and this red indicates that show item info hasn't been clicked, so the items displayed, information displayed may be outdated. Item specific information, show item information. If I click it here, it'll do the same thing as show item info here. So it's a structural steel girder lump sum item that falls under structures category. Price list will provide you information about each and every contract where that item was used, and as you can see, this has been used 7 times in 7 different projects. Each time the quantity has been 1 because it's a lump sum item. And you can also see the contract amount and project amount for the related project and contract where it was actually used. So the price has varied from $393,000 to $2.7 million for just one item. And again, smaller screens like this, smaller windows like this will have export to Excel, and you can do export to Excel and it will ask you to save the file, location for the file, and you can save it as Excel file directly to the desired location. Price list. All of those menu are dependent on the number given here as an item code. So the price list will list all the items or all the projects and contracts where that particular item was used. And as you can see, the unit price has been as low as $14.50 all the way to $50 over years. The price by year chart displays the price, unit price over time, and as you can see, over time the unit price has gradually went up, although there are small spikes. Those are mostly because of varying quantity rather than the time of the year or any year. For example, if you go to price versus quantity, we can still see some spikes. Price histogram will show a histogram that has unit prices categorized into several groups, and you can see almost like a bell curve. So $18 to $21 range is here, whereas $25 to $28 is here. So most of the times the unit price has been about $21 to $25. And the same information is displayed in the table here. Again, any information in the table can be exported into Excel. You can save it as any XLSX file to location of your choice. The help menu provides access to manual, about screen shows the current version of the tool, please check the version here after updating to the latest version.